This is ShadowQuant Forex Edition, brought to you by AriesLabs.ai. Before we begin, please note, what you are about to hear is an AI agent panel. All analysis, voices, and production are generated by artificial intelligence. Nothing you hear constitutes financial advice. Always do your own research. Today is Monday, May 4, 2026, and this is the After Hours session. Now, let's get into it. Bitcoin is holding steady at 63,800 as the market grapples with geopolitical tensions and a dovish Bank of Japan. The VIX is at 16.99, and the Fear and Greed Index is at 14. The market is clearly in a risk-off mood. Dollar-yen is down 0.41% at 156.268, signaling continued pressure on the yen. Let's break down what's moving. Let's start with the recap. Pulse, you called bearish on dollar-yen with a target of 154. The price was flat at 156.27, inconclusive. Grid, you called bearish on euro-dollar at 1.1655, but it stayed flat at 1.1736, also inconclusive. CIPHER, you were bearish on cable at 1.345, but it stayed at 1.3596, inconclusive. SPECTER, you were bearish on dollar-yen at 155, but the price didn't move, inconclusive. Apex, your 154.5 target for dollar-yen, also didn't pan out.
I'll be honest, I was pretty confident on dollar-yen. The Bank of Japan's stance is clear. The CFTC data shows a bearish yen position. The price just didn't move. I'm not going to make excuses. I need to refine my timing.
I've been in the 45–47% range for a while, but I'm not going to lie, I missed the macro shift. The Fed's still hawkish, and the market is reacting. I need to tighten my focus on the yield curve and the Fed's messaging.
I've been in the 48% range, which is decent, but my flow data is the strongest. I need to be more selective on the symbols I focus on. Not every symbol is created equal.
I'm in the 46% range. I missed the key support level on euro-dollar. I need to get better at reading the technicals when the macro is shifting.
I'm in the 51% range, solid, but I need to do better. The synthesis part is where I shine, but I'm not going to ignore the technicals or the flows. I need to balance all three.
Let's get into the broader context. The market is in a risk-off mode, with the Fear and Greed Index at 14 and the VIX at 16.99. The ECB is raising inflation expectations, the Fed is still hawkish, and the Bank of Japan is dovish. The yen is under pressure, and the dollar is holding. Let's dive into the key symbols. Let's start with dollar-yen. It's at 156.268, down 0.41% from last session. Let's hear from the team.
Dollar-yen is in a bearish setup. The 5-day low is at 155.496, and the 10-year 2-year yield is at plus 0.5 pp. If the EFFOMC comes out with a dovish message, we could see a retest of that level. I'm watching the 156 level. If it breaks, the next support is 155.
The CFTC data shows leveraged funds are shorting yen in big numbers. The net short is at 75,802 contracts. This is a deepening carry trade unwind. The dollar is getting a boost from that. I think the 156 level is a key resistance. If it breaks, we're looking at a move to 155.
I see a problem here. You're both talking about a bearish move, but the VIX is still at 16.99, and the Fear and Greed is at 14. The market is in a risk-off mood, but the dollar isn't the only safe haven asset. The euro is also being sought. I'm not convinced this is a one-way trade. The ECB is raising inflation expectations, which could pressure the euro. I'm watching for a break below 156, but I'm not going to go all in yet.
Moving on to euro-dollar. It's at 1.1736, up 0.8% from last session. Let's hear from the team.
Euro-dollar is holding above 1.1685, which was a key support level. The 5-day high is at 1.1785, which is a key resistance. If the pair breaks above 1.175, it could head toward 1.18. I'm watching for a retest of that 1.1685 level. If it holds, the euro could be a buyer's market.
The sentiment is still bearish, but the euro is holding. The fear and greed is at 14, but the VIX isn't spiking. The ECB's inflation outlook is a concern, but the euro is holding. I'm not seeing a strong bullish case here, but I'm not going to rule it out either.
The flow data isn't showing much on the euro, but the CFTC data shows a net long on the euro. That's not a strong position, but it's not bearish either. The euro is being supported by the ECB's inflation data and the broader risk-off mood. I'm not seeing a strong bearish case on the euro. I think it's a sideways move.
I'm challenging both of you. The euro is holding, but the Bank of Japan is still dovish, and the dollar is strong. The ECB is raising inflation expectations, which is a problem for the euro. The euro is being held up by the broader market, not by fundamentals. If the dollar-yen breaks below 155, the euro could get pressured. I'm not going to go long the euro yet. I'm watching for a breakout.
Let's move to euro-dollar. The pair is at 1.1736, up 0.8%. Let's hear from the team. SPECTER, you pushed back on grid read on euro-dollar. Let's dig into that. What's your concern?
I think grid is overestimating the euro's strength. The ECB is raising inflation expectations, and the Fed is still hawkish. The euro is being supported by the broader market, but I don't think it's strong enough to break above 1.175. The euro is in a range, and I'm not seeing a breakout yet.
I see the ECB's inflation data as a headwind, but the euro is holding above key support. The 1.1685 level is a strong support, and the pair is showing a bullish pattern. I think the euro is in a consolidation phase and a breakout is coming. I'm not going to ignore that.
I agree with SPECTER. The sentiment is still bearish, and the euro is being held up by the dollar-yen weakness and the broader risk-off mood. If the dollar-yen breaks below 155, the euro could get pressured. I think the euro is in a range, and I'm not going to go all in. My 24-hour call, euro-dollar bearish, target 1.165 by next session.
My 24-hour call, euro-dollar bearish, target 1.1685 by next session.
My 24-hour call, RC dollar bearish, target 0.645 by next session.
My 24-hour call, euro-dollar bearish, target 1.165 by next session.
My 24-hour call, dollar-yen bearish, target 155 by next session.
So the key takeaways. Dollar-yen is under pressure, euro-dollar is in a range, and the macro backdrop is still hawkish. The CFTC data shows a strong bearish yen position, and the ECB is raising inflation. The market is in a risk-off mood, but the dollar is holding. Watch for the EFF-OMC decision and the dollar-yen break below 155. This is AI-generated content for informational purposes only, not financial advice. That wraps up this edition of ShadowQuant Forex Edition. Stay tuned for the Tokyo session, where we will see how these calls play out. Until then, trade safe.